Okay. 7 to creep. Hi, Ben. Are you editing this right now?
No, that 7 edits it now.
Oh, hi, 7. I think you're a freak.
Oh, hello, good morning. Who do you want? Hello. Workout felt good today. It was chest day. It's my favorite day, and it's Friday. Feels like we're getting close to the finish line. Ah, you remember that finish line? This one feels a little bit easier.
I actually really like working out my arms. Maybe it's because I feel like I can see the most instant change. Especially because some of you ladies have been commenting on them.
This seems like a really good place to store the bikes.
Good thing our bikes are so crappy, no one wants to steal them.
Friday means that the kitchen is a war zone. We got cupcakes, boxes. The French press is in here somewhere. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, clean it out.
Clean it out from yesterday.
See this here? That is a half press of coffee. I decided the other day that I drink too much coffee, and part of why I do that is because it's just there. So I talked to Ben and said, hey, are you cool with me just making a half a press? At least we'll try this out for a month every day. There you go. This right here is my leftover coffee from yesterday. You need to do breakfast cleanup with memory as your first thing. Eden, you have kitchen. Ben is out with his parents having lunch, and I am having lunch with my friend Kortnee. Hi! I don't think we've seen each other for like
Forever.
7 months. I mean, she's like, I didn't know she was pregnant. That's how disconnected we were. It's like, oh, she's pregnant. That's awesome. We're gonna have fun having lunch. She brought me guacamole, which I'm very excited to eat.
There's 7!
This is pretty exciting. Power adapters. We are going out of the country in 1 week. One of the things I am going to be doing this weekend is reading this document, which I'm not going to show it to you. 17 pages long, just to give you an idea, all handwritten. But what this document is, the sexual history of a man that's older than 60 that I'm sponsoring in a program, and this is the second draft of this document, and I'm really excited about this process. This guy that I've been sponsoring, he told me about this. It's called a sexual inventory, and what it is, when you're dealing with sexual recovery or addiction, is you write out basically everything that you've ever experienced and that's happened to you. Specifically like things that you've kind of had shame around. It's not, you don't have to put every detail down, but it's really the stuff you don't want to talk about. I heard of this guy and he wrote this, and then as soon as he got done with it, he like ripped it up and threw it away. And what I told him was, I know that if you're trying to rip up this document and throw it away, that it still has power over you. And one of my goals, and one of the things I've learned, is that when you release these secrets, they don't have to have power over you. And my secrets had a lot more power over me than I realized. These were the things that I did in my past that I was ashamed of, the things that I didn't want to tell anyone. And it might seem like because it happened 10 years ago or 20 years ago or 5 years ago, or it only happened once, or the person who it happened to didn't even know about it, it might seem like these things do not seem like that big of a deal. But I've learned you really know who you are by what your secrets are and by what you're afraid of. I think it's possible to have freedom. I think it's possible to have freedom from these things that define us so that we're actually not defined by what people think of us any longer. Because people do not have to have power over us, especially our identity. And when we're keeping secrets from people, we are giving them that power and living in that. And that's a hard way to live because it's frightening knowing that at any time someone could find this thing out and you will feel like you're unacceptable or unlovable. The truth of what the gospel says, which is what we believe, is that God knows all your secrets already. And there's no secret that you could have that would scare him away or overpower the amount of love that he has for you already. And I want to live into that more. And to me, that means being free of secrets for myself. So this isn't about just like, oh, go blast all your gory details to someone. But if you are not willing to talk about this with anyone, I hope that more freedom comes into your life. And I want you to know that I think freedom is possible in your life, even in those areas. And in my experience, you never know how much power those things have over you until they're gone. This doesn't have to just be sexual. A lot of the secrets I had were behaviors, things that I stole, things that I did to people, ways that I acted on the job or ripped off bosses and things like that. But I'm really happy to say that I am secret free now. And what that really means to me is that I actually believe and have tested God's love for me in all those areas that I didn't think were acceptable. Okay, some of you asked for the recipe for how to make this drink that we call the homeschool mom. Here it is. A little bit of ice. Cami likes half a lime in hers. I like a whole lime. And I like to put that in there mostly for color. So this is where it's the most important. I use a Malibu rum, coconut flavored. I usually do about 1 shot, but there are some exceptions to this. So what my rule of thumb is if you are currently teaching your kids Latin, I would recommend an extra half shot. Or if your kids are more than 2 years ahead in math, I would recommend an extra half shot for that. So if it's Latin and math, that's a total 1 extra shot. If you're not doing that right now, 1 shot should be enough. You're gonna do some pomegranate juice, like about, I don't know, that much maybe? Maybe a little more. And then some sort of like sparkling, flavorless water. We get this at Costco, of course, which is where we get all of our ingredients. You stir. I recommend using a different chopstick than the one you use to stir up your coffee, but around here, beggars cannot be choosers. Oh yeah. And then you serve to a homeschool mom that is having a hard day.
Thank you. Oh yeah.
It's recommended you drink it with a cigar, with a homeschool mom that you love, on a beach. We got 2 out of 3. In about 35 minutes, we're gonna be starting our Shabbat celebration. I'm very excited because we're making Reubens tonight. This was a crazy week for us. We ran a marathon. We edited a marathon video. You know what I gotta say about that marathon? I do not remember feeling pain once. Like after the marathon, it hurt. The next day it hurt. I don't know if it's because I was just so focused on the kids, especially Filia, or whether it's because this is my 5th one, and everything that Cami described in the video about it hurting every step, that was my first 2 or 3. I mean, I cried. It was like so painful. You would think running a marathon with your family and releasing a marathon video would be enough to feel like you can just take a break. It's not that way for me. No matter how much I get done, I still feel like there's more to get done, and I feel like I didn't quite get to the amount of work that I want to get to rest. So we're really thankful because the way that we celebrate rest is that it comes on Saturday for us whether we're ready for it or not. It kind of invades your life in a way. Because if it didn't, if left to my own devices, if I said I'm gonna take a break once I feel accomplished enough, I would never take a break.
It's this feeling of always feeling like something is unfinished.
So the discipline of rest, which is I think what it takes in the very beginning, is kind of agreeing that our identity and our actions of rest are not gonna line up with our feelings, at least at first. We're doing it because we believe it, not because we feel like it. And we're reminding ourselves that our identity and our self-worth doesn't come from our feelings, or it doesn't come from how much work we got done, or how much work we felt like we didn't get done, or how many marathons we completed or didn't complete. It comes from something else altogether. And that is the love of God, which is measureless, limitless, and huge, and always available. And we think it's so important to remember that we celebrate this once a week. It's the most important holiday for us. I feel like I just gave a miniature sermon there. We're looking forward to resting. We hope you guys are finding more and more rest in your lives, wherever you're at, because more and more work feels to me like a never-ending road. Thank you guys for watching, and all the encouraging comments from both the marathon video and the videos afterwards. We have a daughter that's turning 16 this weekend. That might make us
feels more
older.
surreal than our whole family running the marathon.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.